Hi guys, thank you for joining us again. I'm Anna. Welcome to WoWexpressions. We're gonna have a fantastic conversation today, and I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment. So, guys, I have been thinking about we being locked down in this COVID time, and it occurred to me that we have to wear so much mask when we are out there, but we are home and we are not wearing masks. We don't have to wear mask at home, at least, not most of us. Yeah. So I was thinking that we would discuss the masks that we wear and other people that we know wear. And guys, if you all wear masks or, let us know in your comments and stuff. And let's get on with this. So I have this friend who is cool guy. He's the life of the party. And he came across my birthday. We celebrated my birthday last week. And he came across and, and he's looking good. He's smelling good. He's funny. Everybody's like, yeah, he's here, you know. And after the evening was over, he was leaving and, walking him to his car. And I said, hey, yeah, are you happy? And he says, no, Anna, I'm not happy. I haven't been happy for years. And my life is in a mess. And it occurred to me after that conversation, I'm not going to go into the details more than that, but it occurred to me that we all wear these masks. And, this is my friend. I see him. He looks, he always has something positive to say. He always with a smile and stuff. And I thought that, I should look into these masks that we wear. And it turned out that my friend wears the cool guy mask. Oh, wow. And this mask is, he's on top of his game. He looks good. He drives the best cars. He's with the best women, but inside he is actually raging, and I suppose what happens as well, and I have experienced it with him. We'll be doing fine, having a normal conversation, and then he would just blow up. And I was like, where did that come from? There was no need for that, for you to blow up like that. And I realized that's his mask. So his mask is the cool guy, but it's like he keeps burying his emotions, under that cover.
And with the mask, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't cover your whole face.
So yeah. So he looks like he's in control, but he's not really, And that is what happened to him. He's just go for a time being and then explodes. And you don't know where that explosion is coming from. There's no need for the explosion. So, it was just amazing for me to recognize that, hey, in truth, we do wear these masks. And I suppose we, mostly to friends, maybe if we are real friends, it wouldn't show up. But for people who doesn't know us very well, they wouldn't know it's a mask. Or if we put on a mask, somebody recognize that is a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sharon?
It's interesting, Anna, because that cool guy mask that you spoke about, so many persons wear that said mask in their spaces because of fear of revealing their true self. And it could be, I guess, uncomfortable. It could be tiring because living is like living a lie. To how I see it is like living a lie. Yes, we can't bear our souls, our being to everybody we meet, but at some point you have to just put down the mask and reveal your true self, because the world is made up of different persons, different personalities, and when you do that, you're living other people's life. You constantly have to try to fit into other people's expectation, other people's. Whereas if you just reveal your true self, get it over and done with, and be happy in your space, is what I think. But another mask that persons tend to wear is being a people pleaser.
Oh yeah.
You wanna you wanna be the cool guy. Now, while being a people pleaser could be a good thing because it shows you have that emotional connection to others, you care about others, you want to please others, which is not a bad thing necessarily. But at what point do you put that down and say, look, I'm going to live for me. I am going to take care of me, because I always say when you try to please others, because human beings are so complex, because we are so different, you may please one group this minute and displease another group. And in the said group you try to please, and you are pleasing for a point, it becomes a time where the needs change, the expectation of you changes.
Right.
And then you have to constantly be battling with that, you know, push and pull reaction. So my thing is,
Karen, that the people pleasing mask, I feel like if women have that experience much more so than men, because it's almost like if we are socialized to make other people happy, you know, make your children happy, make
yes,
your spouse happy.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's dangerous because the children grow up, they leave as they turn 20, whatever, and they leave your tail behind and they go on and live their life. Yeah, so you can't constantly live to please them while you want to be the greatest parent or the greatest role model to your kids and so forth. So live your life to please you at the end of the day, because life is short. You know?
Exactly. You know what? That reminds me of this old calypso by Sparrow with the guy, with the father, the son, and the donkey, and everybody was telling them like what to do, and they tried to please, you know, each person that they met. And in the end, they had the donkey on top of their head. They were carrying the donkey because they were so blind trying to please everyone. It's like an impossible. Yeah.
Another issue is too, we're talking about let down your mask and all that. The thing about it, people use a mask for protection and also to deal with eventualities in life, because not always you can jump out yourself and I'm living my best life and I don't care about anybody else. And sometimes two things happen. You perpetuate that mask, and the other thing is some people who balance it properly, when things happen and you can't deal with it at the moment, you use that mask as a way to protect yourself and your feelings and the people around you. So sometimes you really just need to know how to balance it in order to, you know, have a successful experience. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, but Nadine, what sort of mask do you wear?
Well, I think sometimes I'm a bit of a martyr, and I realized, you know, as I was getting older, when I was younger, I always tended to put everything and everyone first. And it's as a result of having kids young. So you develop that nurturing habit early. So you put everyone and everybody first. And now as I'm getting older, I realize that sometimes I don't want to do things, but I'm doing it because my friend wants me to do it, or my mother wants me to do it, or my partner wants me to do it. And I really don't want to do it. And I really feel that martyr complex that I may have had when I'm younger, I make a conscious effort to step out of it. Because the martyr complex, that mask that you wear, you tend to feel, okay, I save the world, or I save everybody around me through my actions.
Right.
So, and sometimes you feel people don't appreciate it, but it actually annoys some people. They go, why is she playing the martyr? Why should not be herself? You understand? And sometimes when you realize that you're playing that, when you recognize that you're playing that martyr role, your life, you annoy others, one, but when you recognize you play that martyr role and you step out of it, you realize you tend to be a little happier because you're not living your life for other people. You're not doing something or putting your life in that direction because you're trying to please other people.
Exactly. And I think that this is the whole thing about masks, right? It's almost like if it's a fear-based kind of response to life.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to pretend because you know, there's an insecurity that if I present myself as I really am, then people may not like me, they may not, you know, they may treat me a particular way that won't be to my advantage and that kind of thing. And you know, even people who are like bullies, right, who go around like rah 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 and bullying everybody, and you know, that's a mask. Because I think, you know, we always say at the heart of a bully is an insecure person.
Exactly.
Yeah, so those
Exactly.
things are always coping mechanisms, right? And this need as a bully that you want to feel respected, like respect me. Oh, I'll destroy this, and you're like, whoa. And if that bully, I mean, if you just kind of pull back sometimes, right? And this is where sometimes where you can see a person's mask, and if you look and listen carefully, you can realize that it's a mask that they're wearing, you know? So
Yeah.
even though they say, respect me, it's like I'm insecure and I feel unsafe. So I'm trying to force you to love me and make me feel safe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely something.
But ladies, I'm just thinking, how difficult it is for us to bear ourselves and not be judged,
Yeah.
because sometimes when persons see our weaknesses, they treat us a particular way. So while we're saying put your mask down and be yourself, can we really do it in a space where you're not taken advantage of as a result when persons see your weaknesses?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I
I think, well, okay. I think it's safe to, I mean, it's safe to have a mask. I mean, you can't bare your soul to every and anyone that you meet, but at the same time, there must be a place where you could put down that mask and be yourself. You must have people around you who know who you really are, where you don't have to pretend to be anything else but who you are. And I suppose for a lot of us, maybe we don't have that, and that is what we have to do all the time. Wear that mask, whether it's the bully mask, the cool guy mask, the Martha mask. And yeah, so it's who wants to be pretending all the time though? Nobody wants to do
I
that.
I
It's
understand
tiring.
Sharon's point, because if I because we live in a world where we have things like upside down, right? So if I am open, I am vulnerable, it is often interpreted as weakness. Like if I tell someone, um, you know, I had a bad day today at my job, I didn't really do my job really well, and I should have, it's just like a bad day or something, right? And then that person, and let's say you get fired, right? Afterwards, and that person says, you see, you can't perform your job properly. And they take what you say in your vulnerable moment and they use it as a weapon against you when you are down. So you're like, if I had just pretended that everything was perfectly fine, I would not have been exposed to that hurt. But you have to remember, I think, is that when people behave in a way that is negative, that it really is a reflection of them. We've
Yes.
been socialized to believe that when people treat us badly, it's because of us. No, you are the asshole, right? If you cannot respect the thing that I told you and hold it, and honor me when I am down and don't kick me when I'm down, it's the problem is not me, it's you.
Yes.
We have to change our thinking where those things are concerned, you know? Yeah, definitely.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Delia, when you spoke about the bullying aspect of it, I was just thinking of like you're so right, because when you talk about I'm this and I'm that. When you look at, although this is not the discussion, when you look at a big man hitting on a petite woman
Right.
and think it's powerful, that's a mask that he's wearing, because underneath that bully mentality is a little boy hiding.
Mm-hmm.
But he can beat up on somebody who's smaller than him because he can get away with it. That same man go somewhere and a real big man approach him,
A bigger man.
a bigger man, a real man approaches him, and he will bow out because he realized he can't take on that person. So it's really it's something to put on to manipulate and to take advantage of other weaker persons around them,
Right, that's what I don't know if the other person is weaker, and that's the whole thing, right? They are taking advantage of a situation, and if you have physical strength, right, and you can use that in a negative way, it's you are the problem. We need to stop making victims feel like it's their fault. Like it's like when people get raped. what she was wearing. You know, what
Yeah.
if that fun
Yeah. Yeah. Totally out of context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A rapist is a rapist, and you could, because I heard a story yesterday. I think you were telling me, Sharon, of an 87-year-old woman who was raped. And nothing to do with what she was.
Yeah.
It's
correct.
And who, you know, and that's the thing with when people wear masks, we need to ask ourselves, right? What mask are we wearing? And also, we need to identify when other people around us are wearing masks. Like simple behaviors that we might laugh at, like whatever, like somebody who's a control freak, right? You know, they want to have everything this way, that way, blah, blah, blah. Do as I say, bitches. That's a mask. Because you feel like if things are not, that they will fall apart and you wouldn't be able to function. You know what I mean? As opposed to somebody who can roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Left, you go left. It goes right, you go right.
Yeah.
No?
Yes. So there's another mask, and the social butterfly mask.
Right.
And this social butterfly, of course, is the life of the party, say like the cool guy, you know, but would never have the deep conversations, would never say anything that's truly deep down in their hearts. And they, you know, they go around and they're invited to everything because everybody loves being around them, but they are afraid of letting people know who they are really. So from the moment you start asking, say for example, you say, so Anna, how do you feel? And I say, hey, and I make a joke and I go on somewhere else because I really want to tell you how I feel. You know what I mean? And it is just so amazing the amount of masks that are worn by us human beings for whatever reason. And Delia said it, it's because we are afraid. And who told us to be afraid? You know, who told us that we need to be fearful of the person who's standing next to us? You know, and that is just it's just and now with COVID it's just blatant. I mean, I'm Sharon, you were talking about, I think yesterday we were talking about the amount of suicide cases and stuff. And that is because masks are being pulled off, and you know, you can't wear your mask. There's no one to wear it for. You know what I mean? So you're stuck with yourself now. You have to look at yourself and be with yourself, and you can't do it because you are so accustomed wearing these masks. And it's sad, I think, you know, that we've reached a stage in our evolution where we can't be who we are. We can't say what we want, you know, of fear of another person.
Right.
Because somebody might look at us in a bad or negative way, or make us feel lesser than who we are, you know. And I think it's sad. Yeah.
And you know, the more we talk about this, is the more I'm thinking it is so important for us to have in our lives, in our private lives, to have safe spaces that you can go to, because you know, we can sit and we can discuss these conversations, and we can even off air we can discuss different conversations and be comfortable to let our guards down, to reveal our true self and not be judged. And it's important for us as individuals to find a group. Doesn't have to be a big group, or you know, just find a space, a safe space. It could be a family member, friend, or just find a space where you don't have to pretend, or you don't have to wear this mask, because it's hard to live. I could just imagine it's hard to live like that. You can't be yourself. You know, where I work there's this little situation where someone comes into the mall, and all day long the person is wearing a pair of shades. Not a celebrity, just a regular Joe. All day long.
Right.
And it occurred to me, I said, you know, yesterday in particular, funny enough, yesterday I sat in my space, and when I look straight ahead, I'll see the individual. And I thought, but it's day, night, why are we wearing shades inside? The light is not bright. It's not a big fancy place to say the light's that bright. Right. And then I realized, what is going on there? You know, because it's not a celebrity. We don't need to be wearing shades all the time. The mask is we're already wearing this mask. You know, that's enough, you know. But another mask that persons where I've come to realize is the overachieving. You know, we do this, we do that. We want to achieve all these different things. And sometimes it could be just pure ambition, which is nothing is wrong with that. But sometimes that overachieving mentality, it's an effort to create the superior being. That is, and in back of that is something we're hiding. So while we want to achieve our goals, it's important to achieve our goals. Let us not replace that fear with overachieving mentality. So you must do this by so and so time, and you must, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get burnt out, and you're gonna believe, because you can achieve things in life, you can achieve success in different areas. But if the person behind all of this achievement isn't happy, what you're doing and
not
zero
being
is the
able to
same
sleep,
thing.
Sharon, and not being able to sleep.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
good sign that something is off. The inability to rest.
Yes.
You know?
So it's important to strike that balance. We need to have a balance. Strike the balance.
Exactly.
That's me talking to self right now, ladies.
I hear you. Right? Wow. I know, Nadine, you were saying something?
Well, the thing is, too, another mask that we wear as, I think, as Trinidadians is the humorous. People who like to give picong for everything, and everything is a laugh, and you know, you put them in a corner and they laugh it off, and you know, it is, wearing a mask is really a defense mechanism. And if somebody brings up something serious and you can't delve into that, then something is wrong. If somebody brings up a topic that is serious to them and all you could do is laugh it off, your inability to dig deep and to peel off layers says a lot. Because I remember, you know, people would be laughing. There was a comedian who, you know, made everybody laugh, but he committed suicide. Noted.
And that was Robin Williams, right?
And I was just thinking about him, funny enough.
There are various theories, and they're saying that he committed suicide because of the illness he had. But still, he was a sad person who didn't let anybody in and covered it up with humor, and that's his defense mechanism.
Right.
And sometimes you need to break down. You need to have somebody or a couple of people who you could take that mask down and cry and get all the pent up energy out and be able to express yourself. Because when you wear this mask and you laugh off everything, when you're alone, you're sad, and you become lonely. Because what happens, everybody thinks that this person is happy, this person's okay, but yet you are dying inside because all you do is laugh off everything. You never let anyone know that you're unhappy, because people take it for granted that you are, because you laugh at everything.
I think that is what you said is so critical, and I think that may be one of the more common masks, especially, you know, in terms of a coping mechanism. And yeah, a lot of us, we need to know the difference between joy and because joy is something that it's understanding that you're connected to something beyond just your physical being, right? So even when things go awry, you still have a joy, right? So, but you could be sad about an incident and still have a basic joy in terms of the way that you see life. Or you could look all humorous and be sad permanent, like a deep, deep sadness that you have, and you try to laugh it off and try to, you know, be the life of the party or whatever.
Happy for everyone.
Yes, it's that deep thing, because at the end of the day, right, human beings, we have a couple of basic needs, and that is safety and security. You know, these are things that we need to function in society. We are social beings, and oftentimes we don't have that. So we put on all these different masks, you know, to kind of make up for the lack. So what we really need to do, and I think we always come to this point when we have these conversations, that self-awareness is required. You know, like you need to ask yourself, am I wearing a mask? And there's a mask that you put on. I don't know anybody here. I go into a new space, which is fine, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then there's this permanent thing where there's a kind of disconnection from reality mask,
Mm-hmm.
which you wear all the time, and you wear it so much that, according to Anna, COVID time come and you're with yourself and you can't stand yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So definitely self-awareness. And if the answer is like, nah, then you need to do the deep work. The deep work. Right, Anna?
I hear you guys. But there are so much mask. But what I have been gathering is that the humor mask, it seems like it follows everyone, because the cool guy is the same thing, right? He's always looking, like he has it all together, but hides his sadness. The same thing in the humorous, people pleaser. Everything is, be, is being hidden with this humor, with this thing to laugh. You're always laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people who are actually always laughing. I'm one of those people who are always naturally, I'm always happy. And it's not hiding anything. That's just me. I have a joy that sometimes I want to be angry and I can't be angry because I remember something funny. And it's like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be laughing because I'm angry and I want to stay angry,
Yeah.
but that's just me. But there are people who actually hide what their sadness with humor. And and they need to know it's okay not to, that you don't have to have all the time. That it's okay to come out and say, a sister or a brother or a friend or your mother or your person, your mom can call and say, I'm not feeling good. I'm not happy. I need to talk. I mean, and there are, of course, these hotlines that are available that people could use. I don't know, but I think it's critical to be able, not, and even if you have nobody, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, listen, you know what I mean? You need to fix what's wrong. What's wrong? You need to be happier. You need to not wear this mask with yourself.
And we have to
You know?
normalize. You see
So,
what you did, Anna, where you asked your friend, how are you really doing? We need to normalize that.
Yes,
You see someone,
yes,
how you doing? I good, I did it, I fighting up.
yeah.
You know? No, seriously, what's really going on? We need to normalize having deeper connections with people,
No, but I have it from a different point of view. Sometimes I'm afraid to ask people, like especially people with a lot of issues, how you going? Because I don't want to deal with it.
because you don't want to hear Nadine, that's why. You don't want them to, say, girl, let me tell you,
But
and then
I,
take up all your time. That's your
but
problem,
maybe,
Nadine.
but if you were to do that, if you were to connect with persons like that, Neil, and you say to someone, how are you doing? And you have the time, you might save that person from so much turmoil.
I know.
So sometimes, yes, you have a schedule, we all have a schedule, but if you take that moment and you say to someone and they start, to me, because that has happened to me so many times. Like I remember meeting someone in Port of Spain one time, and I will always ask somebody, how you doing? So I said to the girl, how you doing, in passing? She stopped. I said, Lord. She said, girl, and the woman gave me a whole grocery list of what she's dealing with. At the end of it, I forgot I was going. My mission was no longer important. I took the time and I listened to her. And then at the end, she said, girl, God sent you for me today,
Yeah,
And that is what our role is supposed to be at times, because we don't know. Yes, we have a schedule, but sometimes we need to forget schedule. And when somebody is in pain and they cry, because that very moment that you ask that person, they're open to you, they will not be open to you the same way to receive in 5 minutes time. So when you could tap into that person at that moment, spare the time and save a soul, save a life.
Definitely.
Give a word of encouragement.
My son is very guilty of that. Very, very guilty of that, because he would come into the house and he would say, hi guys, how are you all going? But before we could open with mouth, well, we're not good, he's already up the stairs in his bedroom. And one day I had to stop. I said, you are asking us how we going, but you're not even waiting around to listen to what we have to say. So are you really interested in if we okay? And that a lot of people are guilty of that. I am guilty of that. And it's like you're praying and you're hoping that you know, that people really don't tell you because you don't really have the time to hear. But we have to pay attention because sometimes we need to recognize our friends, our family, you know, they need to say something and they need somebody to hear them.
So
You know,
that's the
but
moment.
I am guilty. I am first to tell you, I am guilty of it. And I make it a point not to ask people how they're going really because I really want them to tell me the truth. You know. So we are guilty of it. And I suppose that we have to pay attention within ourselves as well.
Because this is the
So
moment
we
we're
need to
actually
stop.
telling people, when you say, how are you doing? We're actually saying, take off your mask.
Yes.
Take off your
Yes.
mask.
Celia, ironically,
Take off your
I
mask.
read somewhere when somebody asks you, how are you? You're just supposed to say, I am fine. Society has programmed us to just say that and not get into it. And sometimes you have to know who you can get into it with also. And back to society programming us not to let anyone in. That is a big thing. You need to know, okay, somebody asks, how are you? And you don't delve too deeply because you don't know what you're fearful of what that person is going to do with that information. So,
Right. I mean, that goes back to the first point we made, but again, right? This is where wisdom and discernment and all of those things and maturity will come in, right? Because as Sharon said, she asked that lady, how are you? And she was able to be this oasis for this woman at this point in time. And I think if we are on that journey of becoming who we are meant to be, we have to remember that we are all connected, and the interconnection of each and every one of us is what we're all about. Understanding our connection to each other, to the universe, to the planet, right? I think this is an indication when we ask someone, how you doing? Which is basically, take off your mask now, and they're willing to do that. You know, I think it's about connecting. Yeah.
connections.
All right.
Yes. And I just want to say, before we go, I just want to say, you know, be our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
Go back to basic, just be our brother's keeper, because at the end of the day, persons are dying, persons are suffering, persons are dealing with real painful situation. And if all we can do is lend an ear, sometimes they have the solution to their problems, but they want to sound it out to somebody else. So just open up ourselves to be that person that somebody can come to in a time of need, and just be our brother's keeper.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for sharing your time with us and exploring the masks that we wear on a daily basis. And remember to like and subscribe.
Thank you. Bye.